got a problem with some weight gain over the years. My A1C numbers were pretty high. I actually lost 20 pounds in about a 3-month period, as well as my A1C numbers went from 3.9 to about 5.8, which is huge if anyone in the diabetes world knows. I don't feel deprived. The program I'm on with her is great, and it's one of those things where with some different types of foods that I was eating, I was overdoing it, not only portion control, but also adding bread, which is probably my biggest issue, is having too much bread along with it.
Hi everyone, my name is Canary. I am here with Chris Kissel, who is the owner of Tasher Photography Studio and runs the Woburn Chamber of Commerce. Can you share with us the story of your weight loss journey and how you were able to overcome excessive bread consumption?
Mm-hmm. Over the years, I've tried all different things, I think like most people have. Just cutting things out and saying I won't eat that and I'll eat less and less. That didn't work, over the period of time as I got older. Weight just kind of was harder to get rid of, even with a little bit more exercise, things like that. When I met up with Henry at one point, we talked a little bit, and I was a little skeptical when we hear hypnosis, and we did the process, and that's been great. Little struggle before I met Henry and trying to keep the weight off, and actually became a diabetic. The numbers were pretty high at some point. I wanted to make sure I could get that down and live a long life, which is probably the most important piece for me.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Canary has a keen sense of getting to the root of the issue.
I'm sure your doctor told you to cut down on bread,
Mm-hmm.
and you had a nutritionist that was assigned by the practice from your doctor. How is your doctor telling you to stop eating bread, your nutritionist to stop eating bread, different from my work, what I did to help you stop eating? Very different.
It is. And I think just having a habit, whether it's smoking, whether it's eating, in this case, eating excessive, lots of bread in lots of meals that I have. I think it's tough. You go to a doctor, it might be a physical once a year. They say, stop doing that. Set you up with a nutritionist because I gained some weight. My sugar numbers were up a lot. That was their way of hoping that it would work out. But they're just saying you need to do this. And I knew what I needed to do. It wasn't a question of not knowing. It wasn't like, well, thank you, and I'll go and make that work. It's really getting into my head and making it stop. I think that's probably the most important piece. And that's where hypnosis comes in, why that worked.
Yes, and trying to convey there's temptation everywhere, and it's in all of our food, and the nutritionist and the doctor telling you isn't enough.
When people do see it, they say, hey, you lost weight? They may not have seen me for a few months. Of course, that's when people notice it. And it makes a difference. First of all, I'm in a large shirt instead of a extra large, which right away, I'm a short guy, so I have an extra large. It's just this big bulky look to the shirt, but that's all it fit at the time. So being in larges, a size down, I'll say, and obviously having dropped the weight I did, it's noticeable. And I think people, first things, what did you do? And I mentioned hypnosis. And again, I think it's like anything, the first reaction is, oh, really? How does that work? And I have no idea. I think, again, if you do talk to Canary at some point, even for a pre-consult, I think it's huge because you'll understand it more like I did. It was great working with her. Anyone that's curious about hypnosis, I would definitely suggest strongly reaching out to Canary. She's fantastic. She's very insightful on nutrition, in addition to hypnosis that she does too.